Let me ask you something. Have you ever reached a point where every simple habit, every small routine, every positive thing you used to do suddenly feels heavy, difficult, or completely unreachable? Many people feel ashamed when this happens. They think something is wrong with them, or they believe they are failing at life because journaling, studying, exercising, or even relaxing does not bring any calm. In this episode, we explore why self-care can feel impossible during difficult seasons, and why this experience does not mean you are lazy or broken. When you understand what is happening in your mind and body, you can learn a new, much kinder approach. One that helps you grow slowly, gently, and with more patience. By the end of this episode, you will not only learn clear English, but you will also learn practical ways to support yourself during stressful moments, without pressure or perfection. And if this lesson gave you something useful, I'd love it if you tapped like and subscribe to the channel. It helps you stay connected, and it also helps this little learning community grow. Every click really does make a difference. With love. Let's dive in. What makes normal self-care stop working? The answer is often connected to something called emotional overload, where your mind becomes so tired that it cannot enjoy the activities that used to help. When this happens, even simple things feel far away. Your brain is not searching for pleasure anymore. It is simply trying to survive. So when you sit down to write in a journal, breathe deeply, or take a walk, you may feel nothing. No relief, no motivation, no energy. This experience is more common than you think, and it is not a personal failure. It is your mind asking for a gentler approach. When you understand this, you can stop blaming yourself and start choosing smaller, softer steps that match your current emotional level. In this episode, we explore how to reconnect with yourself slowly, even when everything feels heavy or flat. What is anhedonia, and why does it matter? This experience is called anhedonia, and it describes the feeling of not being able to enjoy activities that once felt comforting or meaningful. It can show up during stress, burnout, sadness, or long periods of pressure. When anhedonia appears, the world feels muted. Music feels quiet, hobbies feel boring, and even rest feels strangely empty. Understanding this idea is important because it explains why traditional self-care sometimes fails. Your brain is not rejecting self-care. It is simply in a low-energy state where pleasure is harder to access. When you learn this, you can be kinder to yourself. You can stop pushing yourself to feel something immediately and start focusing on very small actions that gently guide your brain back to connection. This acceptance helps you move from frustration to patience, allowing healing to happen slowly and naturally. Why do we feel guilty when self-care doesn't help? The reason often comes from unrealistic standards. Social media shows perfect morning routines, colorful journals, clean rooms, and people who always seem motivated. When you are tired or overwhelmed, these images make you feel smaller, like you are not trying hard enough. This creates guilt, even though your feelings are completely normal. Your brain is doing its best to survive, not to perform. When you realize this, you can remove the pressure to fix everything with a single habit. Self-care is not about perfection or beautiful routines. It is about listening to what your body can realistically handle right now. Sometimes that means doing very little, and that is okay. When you release the expectation to feel better instantly, you create space for slow, honest healing. without shame or comparison. What is micro self-care, and why is it powerful? Micro self-care is the practice of choosing tiny, simple actions that require almost no energy, but still help you move forward. Instead of a full workout, you might stretch for 30 seconds. Instead of deep journaling, you might write one sentence. Instead of cleaning your whole room, you might fix one corner of your desk. These small actions may seem too easy, but they work because they match your current emotional level. When your mind is tired, small steps are not weak, they are realistic. Each tiny action tells your brain that you are safe, present, and slowly waking up again. Over time, these micro steps build momentum and make larger habits feel possible again. This gentle approach brings comfort without pressure, helping you reconnect with yourself one small moment at a time. How does stretching help rebuild motivation? When you stretch your body, even for a short moment, you send a small message to your nervous system. You remind it that movement is still possible and that you have some control over your physical state. Stretching increases blood flow, reduces tension, and creates a little spark of energy. This spark may not feel big, but it is enough to shift your emotional state by one small degree. Over time, these tiny shifts build confidence. Your brain begins to feel less frozen, less stuck, and more alive. You're not trying to become extremely motivated. You are simply giving yourself gentle signals that movement is safe and okay. This small physical reset is powerful because it asks almost nothing from you, yet it slowly opens the door to more stability and clarity. Why do tiny resets help more than big routines? When your energy is low, your brain sees big routines as threatening or overwhelming. It feels like too much responsibility, too much pressure, too many steps. This creates resistance and frustration. Small resets, however, feel safer. They do not demand a full transformation. They simply offer a moment of clarity, a chance to pause, breathe, and reconnect with yourself. When you choose something tiny like drinking water, standing in sunlight, or organizing one small item, your brain does not panic. It relaxes. It accepts the moment. These gentle resets help your nervous system move from stress to calm without force or judgment. They are small, but they are powerful because they match your real capacity. Over time, many tiny resets create more change than one big routine you cannot maintain. What is sensory grounding, and how can it help? Sensory grounding is a simple way to bring your attention back to your body and the current moment. When your mind feels foggy, tired, or disconnected, grounding helps you feel safer and more stable. You can do this by noticing what you see, hear, touch, smell, or taste. You might feel your feet on the floor, listen to a soft sound, or hold a warm cup in your hands. These actions reconnect your brain to the real world instead of letting it float in stress or confusion. Sensory grounding does not require deep emotional work. It simply helps you return to yourself. When used regularly, grounding reduces the feeling of emptiness or emotional distance that often comes with burnout or anhedonia. It is a gentle, practical tool that helps you rebuild awareness one small moment at a time. Why does reconnecting with the present moment matter? When your mind is stressed, it often jumps into the future with worry or into the past with regret. These long mental journeys use a lot of energy, leaving you feeling even more tired. By returning to the present, you give your brain a break from these heavy thoughts. You allow your attention to settle. Even a few seconds of presence can soften your chest, relax your shoulders, and help your breathing slow down. Being present is not about forcing positivity. It is about reducing the mental noise that keeps you stuck. The more often you come back to this simple moment, this breath, this feeling, the easier it becomes for your body to reset. Presence gives your mind the space it needs to heal naturally, without pressure or expectation. What is behavioral activation, and why is it useful? Behavioral activation means gently guiding yourself into small activities even when you feel no motivation. It is not forcing yourself to be productive. Instead, it is choosing tiny, manageable actions that bring a sense of structure and direction. When you are stressed or overwhelmed, your mind naturally avoids tasks, which makes you feel even more stuck. By choosing one simple action, you interrupt this cycle. You show your brain that movement is possible, even if the action is small. With time, these actions reconnect your motivation system. They remind you that life continues beyond the stress. Behavioral activation is powerful because it does not depend on feeling ready. It teaches you to start where you are with gentle steps, helping your emotions slowly rise to match your actions. Why can following someone else's routine help temporarily? When your mind is exhausted, decision-making becomes very difficult. Even choosing what to eat, when to rest, or how to start your day feels complicated. Borrowing a basic routine from someone else removes this mental pressure. It gives you a short-term structure without needing to plan anything. You are not copying their lifestyle forever. You are simply giving your brain a temporary guide, a soft structure that makes the day feel lighter. This borrowed routine can be something simple, like waking up, stretching, drinking water, and opening a window. These small steps help create movement in your day, even when you feel lost. When your mind becomes stronger again, you can return to your own rhythm. This is a temporary support, not a permanent solution, but it can be surprisingly calming. Why is rest often misunderstood? Many believe rest must look perfect, productive, or aesthetic. They imagine calm mornings, clean spaces, soft music, and long baths. But real rest is much simpler. Sometimes rest is lying down in silence. Sometimes it is staring at the ceiling, taking slow breaths, or letting your thoughts wander. When your body is exhausted, rest does not need to be beautiful to be helpful. It only needs to be honest. Rest is not something you earn after being productive. Rest is something you deserve because you are human. When you stop comparing your rest to the perfect images online, you allow your body to recover in the way it truly needs. Accepting this brings more comfort and reduces the pressure to perform self-care like a show. Why is survival also a form of progress? When you are going through stress, burnout, or emotional heaviness, simply getting through the day requires strength. You might not feel productive, but your body is protecting you, adapting, and carrying you forward. This is not failure. This is survival, and survival is a type of success. When you expect yourself to feel motivated and energized every day, you ignore how much energy you are already using just to keep going. Recognizing your survival as progress helps you reduce shame and increase compassion. It teaches you that healing is not always visible or measurable. Sometimes healing is silent, slow, and happening inside you without you noticing. When you honor this quiet progress, you create space for deeper recovery. How can patience reduce stress during healing? When you expect yourself to feel better quickly, your stress increases. You begin to judge yourself, criticize your energy, and compare your progress to others. This pressure slows healing. Patience, on the other hand, creates space. It allows you to breathe, pause, and accept your pace without rushing. Emotional recovery works like physical recovery. It needs time, rest, and gentle movement. When you choose patience, you stop fighting yourself. You start supporting yourself with calm, understanding, and small actions that match your state. This mindset makes the healing journey smoother, more honest, and less exhausting. Patience is not passive. It is an active choice to trust that small steps matter, even when they feel slow. What can you do next when self-care still feels hard? The answer is to return to softness, to simple signals of safety and care. You can focus on micro-actions, grounding moments, gentle movement, or borrowed routines. You can allow yourself to rest without guilt and trust that your energy will return slowly. Healing is not about doing everything right. It is about staying connected to yourself in the smallest possible ways. When you practice these small resets, your mind gradually opens again. You begin to feel more present, more calm, and more stable. You learn that you do not need to perform perfect self-care to grow. You only need to keep showing up with small, kind choices. These gentle steps will guide you through difficult seasons and help you rebuild your strength, one tiny moment at a time. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss the next lesson. Your support means so much. It keeps this space alive and growing. With love. Thank you for being here, and I can't wait to continue this journey with you.